This video will cover how to create planting journal entries in FieldX Office for the PC. Planting entries are very important because that's how the program knows which crops are planted in your fields.
You can use the Maps tab here to view, what's planted where if you have it set up to color code by that, or you can use that Field Overview tab. It's another area where it comes in. You can see which fields have already been planted, what varieties and everything are out there at a glance. Now, I'm going to use a shortcut here, and I'm going to select these fields here, these 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, you can select these fields directly from the grower tree, or excuse me, directly from the Field Overview tab here in order to quickly create your journal entry. So if you're wanting to create a journal entry down the road just for cornfields, you can use the Field Overview tab to quickly select your cornfields and then click Create Journal Entry and select that from the list. You can also right-click on your selection here, select the fields in the tree, and then you can open up that journal entry type. Now, anytime you have multiple fields selected in the grower tree when you're opening up an entry, it's going to open a journal entry for all 4 of those fields. So click Plant here for these 4 fields, and now the journal entry is opening. So in my Log tab, this is a tab that's in any of the journal entries that you're going to use. It basically is going to have the summary data, so the date, the status, comments that you can just type in freeform. Okay. And then you can go on to the next form, which is the planting data form. Now, we have quite a few cropping systems using this program, and of course all across the U.S. and Canada as well. So there are a lot of data fields here, and one thing that you can do is you can simplify this form a bit by clicking on the Data Fields button up here, and then you can actually remove any of these data fields that aren't going to be relevant for you. So I'm going to remove a few of these. Okay. So that I just kind of have a simpler form that I'm going to work with. Okay, maybe these are all the data fields I want. What I can do is actually save this as a template. So if I click on Template up here, I can save this as a planting template. And I actually have another one here, but I'll save a new one. Okay, so maybe this is just a simplified planting form. So the templates, allow you to pre-fill and pre-select what information you're going to be recording. So in this case, I'm just pre-selecting what information is going to be there. When I press OK here, it's not going to change anything on this form. But if I go to the next form and I click on Template and say Apply Planting Template, what I can do is actually select this one I just created, press OK, and then that's going to be applied to that field. And I could, when I'm applying that template, what I more often do would be to apply it to all the fields in the collection. So I open this up. I'm going to apply this particular template to all those fields in collection so that they're all simplified and I'm not entering in or even seeing any data I'm not needing to enter. Okay. So I'll go ahead and let me add in a variety here in a crop. So I'm going to plant corn here. I'm going to select a variety. So you can see here is where that crop technology is coming into play. So it's actually bringing that in with the variety when I'm creating the entry. Right? And then I can go down and enter in additional information. My planting application, this would be anything I'm doing in the field at that time. So if I'm putting some fertilizer down at the same time, I can go ahead and select that here. Select my application method, quantity, right? And then gallons per acre, on down the line. So let's say this is what I want to record for this planting data. And in this case, let's say that all 4 of these fields are actually going to get the same, they're going to be planted the same day with the same variety. What I can do then is click on Batch Update here. Click Select All here on the left side to select the data fields, data components that will be copied. So these are the actual kind of sections of this journal entry. And it's going to copy the data I just entered into the field I have selected here, field 7, and it's going to paste it to these other fields. So I can uncheck any of these that aren't actually going to get that same planting information, or I can leave them all checked, select all to apply it to all 4 of those fields, which is what I'm going to do here. I'll click OK, all right? And then what I can do is save this collection of open forms. And when I go back then to my Fields tab, I can see in my field overview, I've got that crop there now. In my journal, I've got the history showing up here with the planting dates there. And then in my Field Maps tab, those 4 fields have now been colored yellow with a red exterior, just like I had specified that they should be when they're planted in corn.